All right, so I wanted to go over this closure problem as well. It's very similar to the last question in the notes. There are 2 of these on your mini quiz, so please make sure you're paying attention and taking good notes. This same formula we used last problem, A equals P times e to the RT power, again is used to find the loan's future value A using initial deposit P, an interest rate of R. Remember that the interest rate does need to be as a decimal. So make sure that your interest rate is always as a decimal. And then your time is going to be in years. This is when the interest is being compounded continuously. So going through what they give us, let's just decode what everything stands for. An initial investment of 200 is now valued at 254.25. So that means this is our A value. Our future value is 254.25. Our P value, which was the initial deposit, is 200. The interest rate is 6%. Again, we need to change that to a decimal. So remember, you're going to take your decimal point, you're going to move it 2 spaces to the left or divide by 100, and it should be 0.06. Using the formula, how long has the money been invested? Therefore, T is our unknown quantity. So we'll start with our equation. A equals P times e to the RT. Plug in the values that we just came up with. So this will go in for A, this will go in for P, and this will go in for R. The first thing we're going to do is then divide. So again, we'll divide by 200 on both sides to eliminate part of our equation. At that point, we would then be left with, dividing these numbers, 1.27125, do not round this, equals e to the 0.06 t power. Now remember, to solve an exponential equation, we take the log of both sides. Because this has an e in it, we are going to take the natural log of both sides. So we'll take the natural log of the left and the natural log of the right. The next step is to use the power property to move the exponent. So we're going to take this exponent and we're going to move it out front using that power property. So we would have 0.06t times the natural log of e. Now remember, the natural log of e is just 1. So you can get rid of that. So we now just have 1 times this is just 0.06t. So the natural log of e is 1, and then we will divide by 0.06 on both sides. And then this goes straight into our calculator. So we'll do the natural log of 1.27125, close your parentheses, divide it by 0.06, and we'll get this as our answer. So that is approximately 4 years that we would need to leave our money sit at that interest rate. Again, if you'd like to check your answer, you are more than welcome to. Go ahead and store that for X. And let's go back and type in the original equation and see if we get 254.25. So we'll have 200 times e to the 0.06 x power. And we do indeed get that answer. So just be sure on your homework and on your mini quiz that you check your answers to make sure that you're getting them right. I also wanted to take a minute to go back and go over numbers 7 and 8. In the video, I did not explain those. They were just extra practice problems for you to try, but in case you had trouble with them, here's a little reteaching on 7 and 8 from the notes. So remember, a natural log has an imaginary base of an e. So the first thing we should do is change this to exponential form. E to the 21st power is equal to 3x minus 9. And then all we need to do to solve this is use inverse operations to solve for x. So we need to undo subtraction with addition. We then need to undo multiplication with division. And then this goes into our calculator pretty much as is. Second ln gets me the e caret button, so we'll type in 21. Arrow over to get your plus 9. I would hit enter first, then divide by 3. Otherwise, you should put a set of parentheses in there. Again, once we type that in our calculator, we should get this big old number as our answer. Now remember, if you'd like to check that answer, we just have to press store for x and hit enter. Now we go back and type in the original equation, natural log of 3x minus 9 equals 21. Okay, in case you need to see number 8 as well, same kind of process. Remember, the natural log has a base of e. So when we change that to exponential, we should get e to the 12th power equals the quantity x plus 2 over 3. We then use inverse operations to solve. So right now I see division of 3, so the inverse is to multiply by 3 on both sides. That would allow these 3's to divide out. And then our last step is just to undo addition with subtraction. And to get this answer, we just type that all in our calculator again. So 3 e to the 12th, make sure you arrow out, and oops, minus 2. And let's go ahead and check that one too. So let's store that in for x. And we'll have the natural log of x. Oh, this one, we need an extra set of parentheses around the numerator. So let's put another parenthesis, x plus 2. Close that, then divide by 3. And close that and hit enter. We do get 12. So just be careful, since this has 2 terms in the top, when you type it in your calculator, you do have to group them with an extra set of parentheses. Otherwise, the calculator would do 2 divided by 3 instead of this quantity. So in case you do your check and it doesn't work. Again, if you guys have any more questions, please just email me and I can make some videos. Make sure you ask questions before taking the mini quiz.